What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Grizz, and today we're going to be rebuilding a team that, in my opinion, should be a Super Bowl threat. Just needs a better coach. The LA Chargers. Obviously, Justin Herbert, we have a franchise quarterback. Probably have our franchise running back as long as we can afford him. Quentin Johnson's a beast. Obviously, Mike Williams is a beast with injuries turned off. Keenan Allen's a beast. We have some solid O-linemen. I like Gerald Everett. He's a high overall. And our defense is insane as well. We just got to figure out how to win. And obviously, if you guys see my track record, we don't know how to do that. So hopefully I can change that in this episode. Well, this is definitely a weird one. So the end of season number 1, we go 11-6. And we missed the playoffs because our division was so strong. Somehow the Raiders also go 11-6, and obviously the Chiefs go 12-5 and take the division. And Justin Herbert had a great year. 29 touchdowns, a little low, but only 7 picks. 4,200 yards, love to see it. Eckler had over 1,400 yards, 16 tutties. Receiving wise, Keenan Allen 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. 880 out of Quentin Johnson, 766 out of Mike Williams. And 134-1 out of Josh Palmer. Defensively, Eric Kendricks, Kenneth Murray had an amazing year. We had Joey Bosa with 6.5, Khalil Mack with 5, 3.5 out of Fox, 3 out of Sebastian Joseph Day, 3 picks out of Asante Samuel. That was about it. And let's get right to the offseason. We'll kind of see if anyone won an award. Herbert comes in at number 8. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Rashee Rice, with Keenan Allen coming at number 3 and Eckler coming in at number 8. Defensive Player of the Year, we're not on there at all. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Johnson comes in at number 3. Defensive Rookie of the Year, no Chargers. Alright, guys, let's see what the offseason brings. Alright, the Eagles win the Super Bowl, taking out the Bills, with Reed Blankenship winning Super Bowl MVP. Dak takes MVP, next year Coach of the Year. Rashee Rice, Offensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald, Defensive Player. Obviously, Rice also wins Offensive Rookie. And then Drew Sanders on the Broncos takes Defensive Rookie of the Year. Guys, so I did notice that we have no money. So I changed that. We're trading Keenan Allen, Eric Kendricks, and Jay Taylor in our first from 2026, a third from this year, and a fifth from this year for Derek Stingley Jr., Jalen Petrie, which are obviously 2 plug-and-play young players, and their first round pick from this year, which is pick 9. So we have 2 firsts this year, and we cleared up a ton of cap to hopefully, fingers crossed, be able to sign back Austin Eckler, because we could not afford him. Now we can. Oh, thank God. Okay. I was really worried about that because obviously you don't want to lose Eckler. And then, why not? Try to bring in Josh Allen? Maybe we'll see. I'm going to try to bring in Josh Allen and Austin Eckler. And we do not get Josh Allen, which sucks. But we did get Austin Eckler. That's huge, because obviously now our running back position is fine. And then hopefully Kenneth Murray hasn't signed anywhere, because that's another guy we need. He did sign somewhere. He went to the freaking Rams, man. Come on. That's alright. We can pick up Frankie. Hopefully they can pick up Frankie Louvu. Oh yeah, and then Gerald Everett. Do we sign back Gerald Everett? No. Actually, I'm going to go cheaper, because Gerald Everett's obviously won 11.3 a year. Noah Fant's a lot younger, star dev trade. He's not one anywhere near that. So hopefully we get him too. We do get Noah Fant. Love to see it. Please, 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 please. Come on, Lulu. Okay, here we get him too. Alright. Alright, now I can quit panicking a little bit. And let's just get into the draft. Obviously, in the draft, I am planning on going after a defensive tackle, a right tackle, and a right guard. But aside from that, that's all I really need. Alright, and then this might be controversial, but I did want to get a lot younger, so I trade Khalil Mack to the Cardinals for Zaven Collins. Obviously, Collins is going to be moved to left outside linebacker and kind of just fill that role Khalil Mack left. Our first pick in the draft was a bust, a right end with normal dev trait. But in our next pick in the first round, we take Brad Nickerson, who has hidden dev trait, a right tackle, looks great. And then here in the second round, we scooped up Marcus Russell, a left outside linebacker out of Texas Tech, hidden dev trait as well. Probably going to move him to middle linebacker, if I'm being honest, because we obviously traded away Eric Kendricks, and the only other guy we have is Frankie Louvu right now. Alright guys, with this draft recap, we did draft 3 serviceable players. This 74 overall right end is probably going to start. Brad is definitely going to start at right tackle. And then Marcus Russell looks pretty good at left outside linebacker. I'll probably move him over to the middle linebacker or right outside, depending on how we match up. Alright guys, heading into year number 2. This is what we're looking like. Have quite a bit of stars and superstars on the offensive end. And then over on the defensive side, quite a bit of hidden dev traits. Yeah, Donaldson's gonna move Donaldson over to the right end. But aside from that, not looking terrible. Alright guys, at the end of season number 2, we end with a 13-4 record. Enough to win us a division. We didn't have the best record in the AFC, so we do have to play in the wild card, but we are taking on the Raiders in round 1. Let's kind of see how the team performed real quick, and then we'll see if we can take them on. Justin Herbert had an amazing year. We led the second best offense and the 20th best defense. Not the best in the world, but hey, it is what it is. 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions for Herbert. Amazing. 1,100 rushing yards and 13 tutties for Austin Eckler, 1,512 for Mike Williams, 988 and 7 for Quentin Johnston, and 795 and 2 for Joshua Palmer. And then Fan also put up 737 and 7. Love to see it. Defensively, Zaven Collins and Derek Stingley both had 100 tackles apiece. Sack-wise, we had 7 out of Bosa, 7 after Tooley, 4 out of Warren Fox, 4 out of Donaldson, the Rook, and 3.5 out of Zaven, and 3.5 out of Henley, and 3.5 out of Sebastian Joseph Day. Pick-wise, Stingley had 5, Henley had 1, Leonard had 1, Asante Samuel had 1, and Derwin James and Petrie and Devine had 1 as well. Okay. Do we win any awards? Herb comes in number 2 for MVP. Dang, that sucks. Offensive Player of the Year, Herbert finished number 3, Williams finished number 7, so okay, not terrible. Defensive Player of the Year, Derek Stingley came in at number 7. Offensive Rookie of the Year, no Chargers there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Devine came in at number 9. And then that was about it. Alright guys, in the wild card we are taking on the 9-8 Raiders. In week 18 we beat them 27-0. Hopefully we can do that again. And do we? No, we freaking lose. How? Oh my gosh. Well, yet again, we're not going to make it. To the offseason we go. The Cowboys win yet another Super Bowl, as we do win Coach of the Year, but we can't even make it anywhere else. Alright. That kind of sucks. Alright guys, and here in the offseason, we obviously did accept Stingley's option. Zaven Collins claims that he wants to play for another team. We'll see about that. Obviously going to accept the option on Zion Johnson, a 25-year-old, 77 overall left guard. Sebastian Joseph Day. We're going to let him walk for now. I might end up bringing him back. I'm not sure yet. Morgan Fox, definitely going to let him walk. And then everybody else, we're going to let go on about their day. And then I forgot to take a look at the roster, but freaking Herbert is up to a 93 true overall with X Factor. Eckler drops all the way down to an 81, so we will be looking to move on from him because he has a huge contract that is worthless. Williams is up to a superstar. I think he lost it after last season and he got it back, so we'd love to see that for sure. And then defensively, Stingley is superstar. Russell did have star depth trade. The rest of these guys are just kind of here. Donaldson is up to a 75 overall, so we'd love to see that. He'll slide in very nicely for Joseph Day, so we're definitely going to let him walk. But aside from that, Derwin James does drop down to a star. Bosa's holding on to that superstar. So hopefully we can improve this defense because that's really all we need. All right, guys, we absolutely fleeced the Rams. We sent over Austin Eckler for Kyren Williams. Obviously, Kyren Williams, I assume, is probably on an expiring deal, but he's an 80 overall, young guy. We're losing 1 overall, and we're losing a depth trade. Who really cares about that? Any running back in Dallas's offense, which is what I'm running, should, in theory, succeed. So let's see how that works out. And we might just draft a running back, too. All right, guys, the loan signing that we are going to be making is Greg Newsome to completely solidify our cornerback position. We have Asante Samuel, Derek Stingley, and Greg Newsome. So that's an amazing cornerback core. All right, and then the first round, we took Connor Foster to move over to right guard to fill probably the one hole we have on our O-line. And then the second round, we pick up a hidden depth trait, Joseph Peterson, a left end, to kind of solidify that D-line that we desperately need. And then in the third round, we take Antoine Knowles, a defensive tackle with hidden depth trait, to also solidify the D-line. What a draft. What a draft. We get Connor Foster, who's a 78 overall guy. It's going to be moved over to right guard. 73 overall left end, and 72 overall defensive tackle. The rest of the draft was kind of crappy, but hey, who cares? These 3 guys are what matters. Guys, heading into year number 3, this is kind of what our lineup looks like. I know Kyren Williams is kind of a downgrade over Eckler, but overall wise he was not. So we're going to kind of see what he can do for us. He's obviously a beast in real life, so maybe he'll be a beast on the game. Who knows? Defense has taken a little bit of a jump. Obviously no Khalil Mack, but with Khalil Mack overall, Russell's about the same. D-line's improved quite a bit. Corners are insane, as you can see. And I think we're ready. Who do we have in slot corner? Okay, I'm cool with that. Let's see what we can do. Here in the next season as we go 7-10 and miss the freaking playoffs. What happened? What happened? Herbert had an amazing year, had the 3rd best offense in the league, and our defense sucked. What in the world? 4,500 yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions out of Herb, 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns out of Kyren Williams. He's going to be cheap. We're going to keep him. 1,500 yards and 8 out of Mike Williams, 1,109 out of Quentin Johnston, 760 and 3 out of Joshua Palmer, and 747 and 10 out of Noah Fant. We weren't getting many tackles. Here, Joey Bosa, 16.5 sacks, 7 out of the Rook, and 4 out of the other Rook. Okay. So that's not much to complain about. You're getting our picks. I don't know. Alright. To the next offseason we go, I guess. Alright, so here negotiations, obviously we're going to take Johnston's good old option. I'll bump this up because we need Petrie. Thank God. Okay, and then how much are you wanting, my guy? We'll be in the negative cap room if we take you anyway. You as well. Alright, so we need a center and a running back in the draft. Okay. Here in the second round, we take Ricky Hutchinson, hidden right tackle, to kind of move around the O-line. In the third round, we take our Corey Linsley replacement, Carson Clifford. All right, looking at the draft recap, it was pretty solid. Hutchinson 72, Clifford 74, Silva's a 72, so definitely 3 plug-and-play guys. And then aside from that, we're just going to kind of roll with it. Looking at the lineup for year number 3, obviously Herbert's still a superstar X-Factor. Foster was a superstar, so we love seeing that. Fant is a superstar. Definitely going to probably pick up some 80 overall running back. We'll look around. Stingley goes up to a superstar. And then aside from that, that's kind of what we're looking at. Definitely going to move Russell up to play. But the team looks pretty solid. Depending on how this season goes, might look to move Joey Bosa for some more cap room. He's obviously regressing. See if we can get a younger right outside linebacker. Or we could even move Russell over if we had to. But that's kind of what we're going to roll with. Bring in Harrison Butker to be our kicker. And Alvin Kamara to be our running back. Heck yeah. Nice little filler, guys, for a little bit. Well, what another fail. Maybe one day I'll actually win. But I think this was pretty successful. I don't know what I could have done differently. Maybe let go of Joey Bosa a little earlier. But, I mean, the team was great. We had amazing receivers. Fant performed very well. Our line was great. Obviously, Herbert, franchise quarterback, kind of got blessed with him. Running back situation was a little hairy, but they still put up over 1,000 yards. D-line wasn't the best in the world, but not terrible. Linebackers were great. Corners were obviously great. Free safety. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Feel free to make fun of me in the comments or shoot some suggestions out there. Let me know what we could do differently. And comment what team you'd like to see me attempt to rebuild next. Eventually, after I get through all 30 teams, we're going to go through, and the ones that we didn't win a championship with, we're going to rebuild them again to see what we would do differently. But as I said, leave a like, sub, and stay tuned for next video, guys.